I've been on the ball and off the ball. I've been just trying to find where I fit in. Like, I feel like my whole life has just been me trying to find la ngifita corner, and yeah, that is like the biggest struggle. That is like the biggest struggle. Picture that I have with me here in Joburg. I went to Durban Girls High School, one of the most popular schools in Durban.
Wazwa muhle mntana umuntu angazi ngizofihla phela. Wazwa muhle mntana umuntu angazi ngizofihla phela. Angitshele khoso, awuye khoso mbeni khoso, awuye khoso angitshele khoso, awuye khoso mbeni khoso, awuye khoso wazwa muhle, awuye khoso mbeni khoso, awuye khoso.
Sanibonani, ngiyathemba niyaphila guys. Welcome back to my channel. Or welcome to my new channel, my upgraded channel, giving the people what they want, giving the people what they ask for. Guys, I've been trying to do this YouTube channel thing for years now. Those who know me from 2020, ngisaqala magazine nje, they know it's been on and off. I've been on the ball and off the ball. I've been just trying to find where I fit in. Like, I feel like my whole life has just been me trying to find la ngifita corner, and yeah, that is like the biggest struggle. That is like the biggest struggle. But nonetheless, this is my upgraded channel. You guys have asked me to become a little more personal. Those who send DMs, Coco, why are you not English? Why are you not posting on YouTube anymore? Coco, you have so much potential. People say the most beautiful list of things. I know it's like 5 or 10 people out of like 11, 12,000, but those things, they stay in my heart. Like, they motivate me, they touch me in a very special way, because ngisuka kude with Elozi magazine. I just, one day, after trying and trying, I decided I'm doing this. And today to have just under 12,000 followers is a lot for me. I know a lot of people be like, aren't you supposed to be on 200,000, 1 million followers? I'm on the perfect amount of followers, because those are the people whom I speak with. Those are the people who appreciate my content. Those are the people who are finding answers to the questions that they have. I don't care about the majority who just wants to skip pages and try and get a dream interpretation here and compare it there and where, and they unfollow you if you're not serving their selfish purpose. I don't care about those people, and if you're one of them, please, the follow button, you can press unfollow, Kiona, because I'm so tired of people who think Maui Sangoma, you are to be available to them. Yes, in as much as we do online things, it doesn't mean that we will heal you online. Sometimes you just need to get up off your butt and go and look for that healing. And I'm not willing to do that for someone, because I couldn't do that either, and it's not practical either. So I appreciate all of you guys who are following me from day one. From day one, people have been saying things to me from back in 2020 to today. And the reason why I'm trying this, well, not even trying anymore, I'm on the ball now with this YouTube thing, is because of you people, Jobang Shilo, 5, 10, 20 of you, who have said to me, one day Ilozi magazine is going to be a big deal. And they cannot even explain how much of a big deal it's going to be. And I've been trying so much. I feel like I owe you guys an apology, because those of you who have been encouraging me, those of you who have been pushing me, it has taken you this long to push me. Those of you who know me personally, who are my friends, who are my family, people who love me, people who genuinely care about me, people who want to see me go far, who have been pushing me. I feel like I want to say, even though you were pushing me, I still had skeletons that I needed to deal with. And I'm not a person to open up like that because of the kind of background that I have, of the kind of things that I've been through. And I know, Uguti, I know what it's like to lose a person when you still have them in your hands, and you just lose them and you don't even know what caused you to lose them, what caused it. So sometimes I have attachment issues where I feels like I'm pushing you away or I don't appreciate you, but it's just the fear of, even if I will still lose this person, so let me just get used to not having them in my life. And that is just something that I've needed to teach myself. Uguti, don't do it, because you end up pushing away good people. Yeah. Whew. Whew. Child, all this makeup just to look a mess. Oh my gosh. Whew. Yeah, man. Anyways, so I just want to say thank you to everyone in my life who has done one good deed for me, who has pushed me in one direction that has led me to being the person that I am today. Yeah. Again. We try again. We try again. So, the life journey, I'm grateful to have had a family. I just watched a YouTube where one of my favorite YouTubers, I think it's motivation from people like her. I won't mention her out of respect, but I've been watching her grow, varsity times, and I'd never seen her mention family or anything like that. And today she was doing a Q&A, and somebody asked her, when you do club hosting and all of that stuff, and when you make those decisions to do that kind of work, who do you consult with? And she's like, I don't even have a family. Last time I had a family, I was 12 years old. And yeah, that hit me. It made me feel like the most ungrateful person on earth. Not that I've ever not been grateful, but I just felt like I was not showing enough gratitude for the people I have in my life, for the good life that I've had. Yes, we struggled there and there at home. I didn't come from a rich home. My mom had to make do with what she had. It was hard, but the fact that I had a mother, the fact that I had brothers, the fact that I had an extended family or whatever, lokho ukodwa was by God's grace and His favor. Okay, I feel like I'm strong and nothing can, yeah, so let's get into it. So the reason why I'm doing this video, it's kind of like a welcome back video to you guys and to me, to say to myself, welcome back, baby girl. It's been a long time coming. You have been trying. I think the last time I did a video that people loved was with Umpo Wabadimo. And I feel like, with this magazine thing, I feel like people expect that through Idlozi magazine, they will find their healing by just sitting at home, which is not a wrong idea. If that's the idea that you have, it's not wrong. But as a healer, it's not practical. And I say it's not practical because Nami, I've been healed before. And had I been sitting at home, I wouldn't be the person I am today. I would be broken. I would be ill. I would be in a place where I don't understand why things are happening. But because I chose to get out of my comfort zone and go out there, I'm now a better person. I'm not perfect, not by a long shot, but I'm not where I used to be. And I'm grateful to myself for getting myself up. The journey was not easy. It was not easy. The journey to becoming Isangoma is horrible for some of us. For some of us, maybe it's amazing. It's a journey you want to remember forever and share with your kids. For me, those were the worst 6 months of my life. Yeah, so it's not practical. You know, there's only so much that online can do for you. Even though izangoma they are available, there's only so much. There's only so much you can do. You can get a kafulo, you can get a washo, but there's a point where you need to go out there and consult. There's a point where you need to go out there uyogeza. There's a point where you need to go out there uyophahla, you know, nomuntu oyaziyo leyo ndlela. But the last video that I did with Abadimu, and I got like 8K or 7K views. The video I did after that hyped me up was the one where I was teaching people how to make umqombothi. So what I've understood from that is that my followers obviously don't consume the same information or the same whatever that I'm offering. Some just like the lifestyle and some just like the spiritual side of it. So my YouTube is now going to just mix a little bit, but I've chosen to make it more about myself, but while sharing the information that you guys still want. You know, the lifestyle of Isangoma, the behind the scenes of the magazine, all of that stuff, but behind me. Because I've learned that sometimes when you give a person a personal touch, you know, other than just showing them this is what you offer, but giving it to them personally, there's just something about that. There's just something about that. So that is what I wanted to do. But I just wanted to share a little background about myself. Excuse me, you're crying. Yeah, baby girl is crying. I just felt like sharing a little background about myself before go in again, and maybe this time it will be raining cats and dogs. Because wow. Okay, so I couldn't find a baby picture of myself, but my parents used to take me to Christian schools. My mom probably just wanted me to be a God-fearing child, girl. And yeah, but once upon a time, this is the only high school picture that I have with me here in Joburg. I went to Durban Girls High School, one of the most popular schools in Durban. It was a good school. I just wasn't in a good space. It was a very good school. And then I went to the Durban University of Technology. There you go. That is me graduating in record time. I was very smart. There's another picture of me during graduation. There's a picture of my mom, my cousin sister, myself, my brother, whom I'm very close with. My other brother unfortunately could not make it. He was staying in Cape Town at the time, and it wouldn't have been practical for him. But again, I know that he had well wishes for me. I'm so going to explain this picture. So, Lord help me. Lord help me. Because He knows that there is no tsunami like the one that I felt in my heart. And there's no greater pain that I felt in my heart like becoming a sangoma. There's no unfairness in my life that I felt in my heart like becoming a sangoma. The most painful period of my life, the most painful period of my life, was a time where I had to become a sangoma. So fast forward, I've told you that we grew up nje kwakukahle nje ekhaya, nothing amazing. My mom tried her best, she did what she could, what she couldn't, we as kids were just like, it's all good. Fast forward to becoming umthandazi. I then became umthandazi. The lady who assisted me, a very loving woman, a very, very loving woman. She's the one who made me think that my journey to becoming Isangoma would be one that would be easy, because she was so loving. And even she would say, Mtanami, I so wish that when you go forward with your journey to becoming Usangoma, you would find someone who loves you, because she was very loving. If you're watching this, Gogo Mtombeni, I appreciate you so, so much. Nemikhuleko yakho till today, your prayers, they live in my heart. Ngiyabonga ngayo yonke into. You are very precious to me. I know that I haven't seen you since back then, and it's been years, but you live in my heart rent-free. You live in my head rent-free. Fast forward to when I had to become Isangoma. Yeah. So obviously besengumthandazi, sengisebenza abantu, and I had years of experience as umthandazi ngisebenza abantu. But there came a point where my ancestors showed me that you are now supposed to be way more ahead of where you are now. I would see this by people coming to me, betting me popile kokongkelen twasisa or get twasiswa like hi. I'd be like hi. Like how ngaphamisa isithunywa, like how unganza ukuthi wenza ukuthi, but not intwaso, because wasa mina angithwasanga ukube isangoma. And after that, things just went haywire. I had those dreams of boniswa, I had those visions, I had everything, but baby girl was just like, not me. I come from a Christian background. Umuntu wangiseli igobong lami lokuqala was Christian, Gokumtombeni. So there's absolutely nothing in combat there. So it was denial. And also just looking at the filth involved in ubungoma. In my head, it was a filthy, filthy place where people do filthy, filthy things, But nonetheless, it was lambing ngendaba. That time being sakijima nogogo kuphela. As you all know, when you're a healer, you're not led by one person or one ancestor. You are gifted by this one and this one and this one. So umkhulu mayiphakama uphakama ngamandla. Okay, yeah, I ignore those dreams, those signs, who to go to. I speak to friends. I should have known better. Not that I'm blaming friends, but I should have known better. As someone who had experience in the field. I fast forward, I go get to this person, abamvumayo ukuthi yeah, lesi sangoma sezangoma, you will not go wrong. I go to this lady, angibulele, yes, wena usebenza abantu, achaza ugogo wami, explain my grandmother the way she is, well, my great grandmother, uyena ngangimthwasile as umthandazi. Explain her the way that she is, amchaze. I never met my grandmother either. But through dreams, I would tell my mom, this person is coming forward, this person is saying this person is saying that. And my mom would be shocked. Where do you know these things from? Who told you this? Why do you know this? And it was shocking to my mother. And eventually she opened up, she went to family and they told her, no, that's Okoko would say, that's our mom. or gogo. They would say that that is our first mom. So umkhulu wami waganwa, I think 3 or 4 up to 5 times. Yeah, so yena nje umama umdala kamkhulu or kakhokho wami. Excuse me. So yeah, went to this lady wangichazela usebenza abantu, you're doing well, but izinto zimile so fanele uthwase ntontontoni. And she speaks to me as if, like, you know, she's the one who can do this for me because she knows this much. Word of advice, guys. A healer is supposed to know ukuthi uyagula. So just like when you go to a GP, they will tell you you have a painful ear, you have wax, or you have this, or you have a painful eye or a foot. Yes, but it doesn't mean ukuthi bazokwenzela. I'm not saying that she was GP level, yes, but I'm just making an example. It doesn't mean ukuthi uyena uzokwenzela. They are supposed to say you will go to someone who is like this, whether it's a gynecologist or this, ozokusiza with the issue at hand that you have. Plain and simple. They leave it there. They leave it there. Hey, and then we start with the intwaso. Fast forward, I bring my mom. She sees, and my mom is like, sharp lamtanam, sharp ma. Okay, cool. Mind you, I'm there with like close to 50,000. I don't want to bother my mom. This is money that I've saved from Ukusebenza Bantu, you know. I know it's a little bit of money from the years that I put in, that I've been working, but it's the money that I had, because remember, ukuthi ekhaya uyakha, ekhaya uyathenga igrosa, ekhaya fanele kuklinwe igcikeni, kufika abantu bagunde, so there's responsibility, fanele ugqoke nawe, fanele udle kanjani. So that is the only money that I had. Fast forward, ngisentwasweni angiphathekanga kahle. Within a month, I could see ukuthi mina and this lady, we are not. Futhi nje, a month is too big. Within 2 weeks, like, she would say things like, oh klama, oh this, oh that. You're supposed to understand ukuthi uma uyisangoma uyibhinqa. Fair enough, but I'm here to learn all of that. So if I didn't need to learn all of that, I wouldn't be here. You understand? Then she would say things like, you know, things that would discourage me, you know, into being Gungoma, things that made me feel like we are competing, mina naye. And she would say things like, oh, you're saving your powers for when you go esigodlweni sakho, when you go back, you should be using them here. Abantu bakho mabezohlola, they should be coming here. Abantu bakho mabuzobageza, they could be coming here, you know. And then we would split that money because we say this is godlo sami and all of that stuff. And it was awful staying at her house, because amanye amathwasa now ayingasangithandi, because obviously she had an influence upon. And one thing I never understood is that mina, although my mom was Christian and born again, but she came from a family la ugogo nomkhulu ngibathwasile, their kids were sangomas. So if oyedwa ngasona isangoma uyinyanga, if engayona inyanga umthandazi, if engayona umthandazi wadla inkamba indiki nendawo. So almost everyone has something. So I come from a background where I know I can fall back and say, gogo, auntie, mkhulu, so and so, help me, I'm stuck. Even though my mom didn't walk that journey, I had a whole lot of people. But with thou matwasa, to the point where I could see ukuthi lo akumelanga ngabe uyathwasa, but I would keep it to myself. Lo akumelanga ngabe uyathwasa. Lo kumele ngabe nje uyidlela indiki nendawo wahamba. To the point where most of those people, izinto zabo went from bad to worse. In a space of 6 months, from bad to worse. But out of respect for abantu, I won't go into that. Words that she would say to me were horrific. I remember one time she made me wear wet clothes. So Mashamba, Ukobela no longer wears red. We all know this, or white or any other color, but red alawugqoki. So Mashamba, we know kunomgidi or something. We know ukuthi thina, we wear our red skirts. We have the black skirt, we have the red skirts, we have the white t-shirt, the red t-shirts. So we knew Uguti, it was star white t-shirts and red skirts all the time. So we were preparing for umgidi of one of the kids, right? Please excuse the lighting, it's shifting, you know. I charged my ring light, but it's given up on me, so I'm still to invest on a good one. So back to the story. Siyeke kumgidi walo mntwana siplane. So I think during the week I washed my red skirt. She called me uGlaba because I loved myself. So I was one of those, even though ngisephehlweni ngihlele ekhaya, no one's coming to visit me. But isketi sami, zazi kwakuyilezi keti, those skirts that have pleats. So each of my skirts I would iron them perfectly with pleats. Each of my tops would be star white every day, to the point where when people come, they will say, "Wazwa muhle uthwasa wakho," especially to me. Mind you, you're not allowed to look at yourself. So any reflection, whether it's the mirror, the tap, the water, anything, you're not allowed to see a reflection of yourself. So I didn't even know what I looked like. I just depended on other people. You would depend on itwaseling ukuthi gogo la awucabanga kahle, or lana twasa awucabanga kahle, or lana makhosi awucabanga kahle, and you'd go and you'd fix that. So back to that story, I iron my skirts, I iron my t-shirts, and I put them aside. Everything, planning, I had a basket. Lily, those who cleanse with me, the one that looks like that. I'll explain la sala kanjani. So on that day, she had been bullying me vele to the point where I stopped showing her that I care. And that is what made it worse, in my opinion. It made it super, super, super worse. But anyways, ke asikho lapho. So the day comes, and when the day comes for ukuthi siye lapho, mina, the time ayina abanye angithi mina sengi-ayinile, I've done my ironing. I go, ngiyogeza, ngigcoba ibovu lami, I get dressed, and the minute I walk into the house, wonke amathwasa abanye babaleka bashona le, abanye babaleka bashona le, and I can see ukuthi they are now ironing black skirts. Mind you, I only had 2. I was the one who was paying for my initiation when I first started. So I didn't say, "Ma, I need extra skirts," or "I need extra tops." It was up to me. What I ate, my contributions, it came from that money. It came from that money. God knows what I was showering from came for that money. So ke manje, that day comes, and I'm seeing abantu, they are running in different directions. Gogo's demeanor has changed. And she doesn't care to explain to me. Clearly she's told abanye, but she doesn't care to explain to me. Ukuthi no, I will be wearing a red skirt. To my shock, I see someone ironing iskete esibovu sikagogo. She hardly wears it. Ugogo wears a white skirt. Guys, I know. Ugogo says she's wearing a red skirt, so you know, but we can't wear the same color as Ugogo. And in my head, I'm like, my goodness. But yeah, manje, that's a problem because I only have one black skirt and it's wet. And I'm wearing red because I know what we're supposed to wear red. What do I do now? And none of the other kids even thought to themselves, because they probably also had one at the time. I know at a later stage, some of them had by 2, by 3. Hey, so, and because I was so used to being abused by her, and I told myself, for as long as she abuses me, is for as long as I will detach from her, for as long as she wants us to be in a battlefield, so as long as Nami, I will fight her in my silence. My silence killed her so much. My silence got to her. She used to say, "Udelela silence, awumlwisa loudly." She used to say, "I don't even have proof of how rude you are because you are quiet in your rudeness. You are rude." She used to say that because she abused me to a point where I decided I'm going to be quiet about it. I am not good. She wants me to be moved. She wants me to backchat her. She wants me to ngihlawule. It will not happen. By fire, by force, I fight against the spirit of her. I fought against the spirit of hers. Engolile emdaka. Where she had good things to say, I went with that. The lot that she had bad to say, I just closed my ear. So back to that day, ngigqoke isiketi sami esidripping wet. Lapho abanye sebegqokile, sebeshapu, mina I am dripping. I am dripping wet. I am dripping ngiyaconsa egcekeni. Lapho she comes for me because mina bengisagqokake. So now I'm trying to think how ngizomisa kanjani. So ngiqale ngizama ukukhama ngethawula. I'm doing everything in my power. Mind you, I don't even have a second to iron. I'm on my monthlies that time. So angina sesigodlweni esikhulu. Thank God. I wear this black skirt, dripping as it is, and I hold my head high as she is embarrassing me in front of people. Didn't you know that we were gonna go? Blah 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 blah. It's not my problem. Don't. And that time, she's just like, you're even quiet. And I'm just like, everyone was just looking at me like. And now they already knew how I was. Hey, for them it wasn't even a thing. It was like, oh, whatever, it started again. And Makosi Mhlongo, that time Makosi Mhlongo is never moved by Ugogo. Never moved. Every time she showed me that I am phony is every time that I showed her that I don't care, because whatever war you're fighting with me, I don't know it. I met you 6 months ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 1 month ago, and you've shown me, the only thing you've shown me is that if you have a problem with me, you sit me down. I'm a child to you, you're an adult. It's so easy for you to sit me down and say, you're not doing well here, pull up your socks. Hating me, telling me that this and that, all this negativity that you're putting in my head is not going to help me. It's not helping me. You're abusing me. And that was my thought. I guess that day. It's very unfortunate for her. And I'm hleki ukuthi. But in a way, I'm like, my grandmother had ways of ukungilwela. Because but my grandmother had a way of fighting my wars, my struggles against her for me. And because this is why I always say, Edlozin, you need to be quiet so that Idloz lako lingakulwela. Because had I been the one to fight her, to backchat her or whatever, my grandmother would have not felt the need ukuthi angilwele. And the way she fought. And let me tell you, on that day, siyeke ekhaya lalomntwana lona, siyeke kwaThwasa eyolanda isiphanda sakomalume. Sisahleli singakadli nenyama, singakaqedi nje ukugwinya ithambo lokudla inyama. We just made the meat. We're just about enjoying it. Ugogo gets a call. Gogo, isigodlo esikhulu sishile. Isigodlo lesi bengingasingeni mina because I was on my monthlies. So I wasn't going in. We all know this Maltwasa or whatever. Are we esigodlweni when you're on your period as a woman? I have to say it like that because someone's gonna ask, well, monthlies. So yeah. And she gets that call. And the first person she asks is me. Mhlongo, did you go esigodlweni esikhulu? And I'm like, no, because I'm on my period. And I did tell you, Gogo Guti, I'm on my period, so I'm not going esigodlweni esikhulu. The other Makosis had to get my stuff for me because I cannot go. And she's like, and I asked the others, and then they're like, isigodlo shile. Mind you, isigodlo burnt down while all her children were at home watching TV because all they did was know ukuthi makunamathwasa kunabo aunt. So when you have that mentality, you are not involved. You need to involve yourself, even if it's khona mathwasa egcekeni ekhaya. Mind you, the next closest person to isigodlo was in front of his place, and yena isigodlo was indlu yakhe was behind, so it was a 2-room or 4-room ugogo ayeyakhile for him. And he did not smell that it was burning. He did not smell that the roof had caved in. He just said he heard people screaming and tossing water, pouring water. And ugogo's question was, how can you say you did not smell? How can you say you did not hear until Isgodlo burned, like it burned down, guys? Like there was nothing left to it. Like she had to just break it and start from scratch, including foundation. It was cracked. But when I say ugogo wami ungwele, I mean ukuthi everyone's things got burnt except for mine. Everything. And when I say, when you know a miracle, when I showed my mother, she was like, but how is it possible? Everything, people's wallets with monies, passports, IDs, everything got burnt. Mina, not even itslam lokulala got burnt. Not one thing of mine got burnt that day. Unfortunately, smoke has the power to damage things. So that is how most of the things got damaged. But they were useless things. They weren't like things that was very important. They were things that, I can easily just replace. The expensive things like amajazi, those stayed. Those fought the fight. And one day, Sayimfuleni, going forward, one day, Sayimfuleni went to the river. We were supposed to get cleansed. Mind you, when I joined, as I know, when you join you're supposed to go to a river or hambai to wash away everything. I got cleansed in the back. The first day in Fig, I got cleansed in the back of the house. Getting candela and coins in the back. No moving water, no nothing. Cleansed right at the back. And then my first official cleansing, it's two. 2 goats. If you count how much that is, it's just below 10,000 already. Mind you, I had to redo that. So 20,000, just below 20,000 already. Already having to redo that. Never mind the chickens, never mind the food that people need to eat, never mind the makesi kabiya, never mind ugologa mabodlela, never mind all of that stuff. Just the goats. So the first day she decided to go somewhere else, which was like 1.5 to 2 hours away. And I was left with omunye umakhosi naye ongazange aphuthule wayesaguqile nje, and abanye othwasa bangeza. The others, she cleansed, but me, I had to be cleansed by othwasa abanye. Yeah. We get to the river. Luckily, there was this guy who usually used to take chickens from Ugogo. I don't know whether he used to sell them or whatever, but if you cleanse with something, you don't eat it. That's what she taught us, and I was perfectly okay with that. I didn't care. So luckily that guy was there. And I say luckily because if you guys remember last year, because this is when I initiated to be a Sangoma, was in 2022. Last year, which explains why I did the whole disappearing. Last year, there was this heavy rain all over KZN. It destroyed homes. It was like a tsunami. Ispingo was bad. My home in Kababa was terrible. Mudslides, water coming into the house. Things were destroyed, walls, everything, well bad. Not to mention in Chongwing, around the area, the river there caved in, the walls. So I was cleansing lap. We found a safe spot. It was the small child, about 2 or 3 at most. Utwasa omunye, no makhosi, no sisi lo wise driver, no botilo. Ngingene emanzini. First thing that happened is that I could not move my legs. I became paralyzed instantly. And Umakhosi, who was cleansing me, panicked. The weather changed. It started with the thunder and promised to rain heavily. The goat wanted to throw itself into the water. So now one of the people is fighting the goat. Ngapha, I'm paralyzed. Ngapha, the weather is changing. The water is gushing. Mangithi ancestors, they fight for us if we allow them. This is what I mean. And this is why I'm humble, because I know the wrath you are going to feel from my ancestors, from my humbleness. Yay, you're not going to be able to face it. So that day, I lose control of my legs. I'm paralyzed. In the water, I cannot move. Everyone is just saying, get up, get up. And one of the Ugogo starts saying, Ugogo and guess, starts saying, she's paralyzed. She can't move. We have to pull her up. I start crying because I'm like, am I paralyzed for life? Why is this happening? What did I do? What did I not do right? As one of the ladies turns to speak to the guy, because I think he was on the phone or something, he was facing the other way, so he wasn't paying much attention, because what he usually does is he gives us space. That day he's usually waiting up by the main road, which is very far from, but that fateful day he decided to come to the river with us, and we were all ladies and a small baby. And I did not see him, but I could hear, because I can't even move. I can't move my legs, and I feel like my waist is stiff. And I'm kneeling, emanzini. Mind you, I'm kneeling. Amanzi asenyukile. The time in figure, amanzi abemancane. That's why I was kneeling, so that there could be enough water poured on me. Now the water is pushing me back, and it is gushing. So luckily, bengqoke ijazi, because if it was just my skin, I would have been gone. I just literally felt this guy rip me out of the water with one arm. Did I not scream? Did I not burst in tears? Did I not? Because I'm like, what just happened? Because the minute Utwasa started cleansing me, because she was the one who was in the water, Ukobelalo was like, I'm scared of Ukoko, because I've seen the things that she can do. So I'm respectful of her. That whole day, it was delayed. That whole day, it was just a run around, and I was panicking, and there was just a lot happening. And I guess it was just a waste of goats, a waste of chickens, a waste of ritual, ceremony, a waste of everything. When she came back, she said, no, Ugogo went. The main Gogo came back on Swasisayo. She said, for that time, she said, oh, but it looks like, Gizagil. But eventually, like a month later, within like 2 weeks to a month, she was like, no, we need to redo this. Meaning that I need to rebuy. That time, Wanyusa Wati, make it 3 goats and a chicken and chickens. We're doing the whole process all over again. Yeah, and we did these things without even my family knowing. I would just tell my family, oh, today Ugogo said we're doing this, and it would be shocking to my mother. But fast forward, that is the abuse that I endured in that place. And if you're asking yourself, ukuthi ngiphothule kanjani lapho, azange ngize ngiphothule. Ngithe ngisaphakathi towards the end. Unfortunately, the connection between mina nenkambi, for those of you who have twasad, ukuthi every day kumele ugeze ngokhambi, kumele wenzeni, it broke. I couldn't even wake up. I would tell the others, don't wake me up. This happened for about 2 days, and I thought I would sit with Gogo down and tell her, no, I think I should go home, because this isn't the place for me. It's not the place for me. It's unfortunate that I've been here for about 5-6 months already, but this isn't the place for me. I can feel it. It's not the place for me. And the day where I was going to tell her that, they never liked me. They didn't even have to fake it. I don't know if it's them who snitched on me, because I know Gogwan would never have told her. Definitely not. So I greeted her, and her manner of approach was, "Oh, ngani? Why was I gezi? Blah blah blah." You know, she was screaming. And mina obviously senginayo leyo nto ukuthi, if this is your approach, you are going to reach a wall. I turned myself into the hardest wall ever. Call it the wall of China. Long, she couldn't climb over it. Hard, she couldn't push it. And that frustrated her. And she was screaming at me. She was like, "Pack your things and go." And the minute she said that, I walked out and I said, "This is the answer I've been looking for." And when she saw Uguti, I don't give a damn. Then she said, "You know what? I'm holding you hostage. You are not leaving this house without my 16,000. Tell your mom to come now and give me my 16,000. I call my mom. In my head, I already have a plan. I call my mom and I tell her, "Okay, this woman is chasing me out of her house. I see she wants her 16,000. My mom comes. I'm emotional because I've been through a lot. This woman is lying through her teeth and she's ruining my life for nothing." Fast forward, she says, "Okay, I'll give her another chance. She can stay." Okay, I continue for about a good 2 weeks. In that 2 weeks, aphothulelo omunye umakhosi sasiyekena ngigqoke isiketi esimanzi. So we're planning for uphothula kwakhe. Uyaphotha ekhanda, she's looking good, she's looking nice, she's excited. Liyaduma nalapho. Mind you, thina sazi ukuthi maliduma awusahambi. Sekuphelile unyaka. It means that it's whatever that it means. Some banye bathi ngene ihlobo, abanye bathi masedumile nje akuphuma umuntu. Secondly, her mom comes to report that there has been a death in the family. Another sign ukuthi akakwazi ukuphothula, awuphumi makushoniwe ekhaya. Uziliwe when uyaphuma. And ugogo says, "No, we'll make a plan, continue to send the money," and they send the money. And the other kid also sends the money, but kufanele kuphume. Like I said, out of respect, ngeke ngigcwele kakhulu. Okay, siqhubekeke sihlale. It was a Friday. It was the 1st of August when she did that scene where she was screaming and shouting at me, because I remember I even wrote on my WhatsApp status, because I hardly touched my phone, but I wrote on my WhatsApp status, I said, "Happy Women's Day to all the women." And I added all of my aunts and all of my cousins, and even Gogo Mtombini, I added her picture, and it's hers that I didn't add. And I said, "Happy Women's Day to Imbogodo." And then after that, that's when she started with the scene. So fast forward to about Monday or Tuesday the following week, I wake up in Nepupo, where there was once a gogo that I met some few years prior, let's say maybe a year and a half prior. And she spoke to me in a way that touched me. She didn't ask me for money. I went to school in Sake, we spoke, she counseled me because I was going through a lot. That's when it started with, funny twice. Yeah, I dreamt of this lady. I'd only seen her once in my life. I dreamt of her in Faga Eskodwen, meaning that I was starting the whole initiation process from scratch. And I saw everything. When I woke up, it felt like it was actually being done. I cried because I was like, first of all, this is not the place for me. Secondly, I've always felt like this woman wasn't doing a thing for me. Whatever she was doing was going against the wishes of my ancestors. Now I have to start from scratch, and I've lost about 40,000 Rand. I only had 7,000 Rand to my account. 7 from all the money that I came in with. So yeah, I call my cousin's wife, who's a Sangoma, because I'm telling you that you cannot be Isangoma. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm not saying what is wrong. For me, you cannot be Isangoma out of nowhere. Out of just nowhere. There's no trace. When a wonke umuntu in your generation, there's not one individual. But anyways, that's just a heads up from me. Maybe you need to look at things, but it can be we are disagreeing, and that's okay. Okay. I call her, I tell her everything that's happening. This is what is happening. She's like, why have you been quiet? And your mom told me about the incident that happened. That is not how she was supposed to approach. Luckily, I had my other old phone, but it was always off. I put my phone on. I'm now trying to remember this lady's surname with all of my heart. I go to WhatsApp, I don't have chats. I go to SMSs, I don't have chats. Later in the day, I remember her surname and I go straight to it and I see her number. I call her instantly. I go I go there and I call her. I tell her my whole story. She's like, yo, Nganyami, Nami, I've been wondering where you are. In my heart, I've just been feeling like there's an empty space. I've been dreaming about you. This and this is happening. And I'm like, this isn't doing my life. That is exactly what has been happening to me. And she's like, are you a pet in I'm like, yes. And she's like, is this and this and this happening? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, why are you still there? Mind you, I also have friends abayizangoma. And at first I thought because they would say, but are you sure lo mama gatwele? Because the way she's coming about, it's like utwele. But I would stop talking to him because in my head I'd be like, this is the negativity that would not take me forward in my life. But eventually I started asking them, telling them like, Gogo, you cannot give someone 16,000 rand. She does not own you. For holding you hostage. Pack your things and go. And one day, on the day where umakhosi lo kwashisikolo sisakubo eseyawuphothula ugogo in the morning, bahamba bayintabeni, and I took my stuff. One of amathwasa babe busy nje egcekeni, but it was just one, and one that I didn't care for because she didn't like me and I didn't like her. Because she didn't like me. I didn't have a specific reason. My reason was, if you don't like me and if you keep telling Gogo things about me, keep going to my social media, because before she came, Gogo knew that I had social media, but she didn't have a problem with it. But she started these fights with me as soon as she knew that, these kids would say, Makosi is a celebrity, Gogo. Makosi is this. Makosi knows these people and she knows those people. And I don't know if that was a threat with them, but with Ugogo as well. But I didn't give a how. I didn't give an F. So going forward, that day where I decided to leave, I couldn't pack all of my stuff, but some of the stuff that was very important to me and my journey, I packed it and I left. She was there. She couldn't even see that I was leaving. I was leaving right in front of her because my suitcase was very small. It was like about this big. You could fit it into a black plastic bag. I took a black plastic bag. I put my suitcase inside and I walked out right in front of her. She was coming in as Godrini. I was walking the other way. She just looked at me. I even had this kwamasamis nebo here, showing that I'm leaving. The only thing is the fact that maybe she would have thought that because I was walking in the direction where we burned dirt. And that is how I left. And I phoned my mom and I told her, I'm at your office, I'm at your work. Come and get me wherever you are. When you finish with your meetings, we're going home. And Umakosi, the one who initiated me after, told me it's not a good idea to go back home while in Sebovini. So my mom organized this other lady to cleanse me. So we cleansed, we prayed on Tandazi, wash everything. And then I went home. After that, and now I'm in Joburg. I found a job. My cousin called me. She's like, girl, I have a job for you. And I'm like, do I need one? Yeah, let's take the job. And that is how I started working. And I'm using the money to fund my business. At least I don't have to take it out of pocket from Imali or Gogo, of which Veli magazine yabo, but I just feel like I don't want to use Imali, your kids band and all of that to fund the magazine. That money should go to specifically if I need to do a ceremony or all of that stuff. But I do sometimes take a bit from it and then take a bit from my salary. And then I'm in Joburg now. I'm doing well for myself. And I do hope one day this video finds Labotwa Salaba, who used to snitch and create stories about me and made Intwaso Yami a living hell. And I do hope ukuthi ney'ngane zagogo. And this is not because I'm being mean, but just to say ukuthi impilo yomuntu ayikho sesandleni sakho. Impilo yomuntu isesandleni saNkulunkulu. And all the things that happened to Ugogo. Her husband got sick. By the time I left, she was telling us that he owes about 250,000 esibhedlela. And mind you, from the duration ngifika ephehlweni, I only knew umkhulu for like a month or two. The rest of the months, for about 4 or 5 months, was esibhedlela. Her house burned down. One of her kids got accused of murdering the mother of his child. There's a lot of things ezenzakala, izimbi again. Izimbi. And to this day, I'm like, whether it's her ancestors showing her ukuthi indlela owenza ngayo, you need to relook it. Because iy'nduku ezazimshaya zaziningi kakhulu. Zaziningi too much. But ngisukile kuleyo ndawo, I've healed because I've seen ukuthi uNkulunkulu wami uyaphila. uNkulunkulu wami mina uyayizwa imikhuleko yami. And the more I humble myself, the more my ancestors fight for me. So I wanted to share with you guys ukuthi this picture. It's a bit dark. So this picture, I painted it at a sip and paint that I attended last year when I just moved to Joburg. And they asked me, among some of the pictures that were interesting, some of the paintings, they asked me, what is this? Gugu, please can you explain it to me? Then I told them, Guti, I've just come out of initiation. I went through a very dark patch during that initiation. There was a lot of blood shed, and that blood resembles the things that I left behind, the pain I was feeling. There was a lot of fear. There was a lot of me wishing this would stop. As you can see, there's a stop there. There's a lot of fear, and there was a lot of abuse. But it was hard, Lendlela, when it started. That's why this road is so wide. And it narrows and narrows until it fades because I became better. This is a rainbow. It just shows some of the phases that I went through, But as you can see, iqala ibe bright le rainbow because I was hoping for best things. As you can see the yellow. But it very quickly turns very dark, gloomy, and sad. But eventually, as it comes to an end, indlela yami iyakhanya futhi. And the reason why I wrote my name this side and not this side is because I discovered who I truly am, my powers, and I'm not a bad person. I'm not what all the things that Gobela said I am. I am a good person. And that is why I'm living a good life now. Yeah. So it was a magazine. I started it in Mthandazi back in the day. Because I felt like I needed to speak to people who, just like me, came from a Christian background and felt like, what am I doing? And didn't feel like they had that support or someone to talk to or that information. So from Idlozi magazine, this is where you find the information that you need. This is where you find the answers that you need. And we've just, interestingly enough, I've added a few other sangomas that you all might know and love. They are very helpful. We've got Vent About It, where you write about your experiences. This is what I've experienced. Please, can you direct me in the right, can you show me the right direction? Where do I go from here? We've got people who discuss certain topics that may be in your mind because, okay, if What does that mean? So we've got very interesting topics. We've got dreams interpretation and all of that stuff. So it's a whole spiritual magazine that you can use to your benefit to empower yourself. Use that information to empower yourself. So yes, I do hope I'm a sales as a pickup, and not because I want to be rich, but because I do this out of love in my heart. I do this knowing what it feels like to not have access to information, not have someone you can trust. And I do hope Uguti sales as a pickup in 2024, meaning that more people will find the magazine useful. Give it a try. Buy one copy. See Uguti, does it speak to the problem that you have? And yeah, so basically from here, from here we're going upwards. I promise I'm going to be consistent. I promise Uguti it's going to be to your benefit. Please comment it down below. Suggestions, what you want me to talk about, what topics you want me to cover, all of that stuff. Let me know. But Nje, I appreciate you taking your hour to listen, to watch, and I hope Uguti this video was helpful to you like it was to me making it. It felt therapeutic because at first I was breaking down because obviously there are some things that I haven't addressed and I have to look into them. But okay, other than that, ngiyabonga kakhulu for taking the time to watch this video, and yeah, I'll see you in my next vlog. Thank you so much.